Assassin's Creed Mirage is a game I've been looking forward to ever since Ubisoft called this game a return to the series' roots. As I am a fan of old school Assassin's Creed and not so much a fan of new school RPG Assassin's Creed. But now that this game is out, was it all a lie? Was this just Ubisoft's attempt to get more people to buy Mirage? Or is this game truly a return to the series' roots? Find out in this review of Assassin's Creed Mirage. His name is Basim. He is an assassin. That's all I got. So I guess the best place to start are the two things that Ubisoft pushed the most when promoting Assassin's Creed Mirage: parkour and stealth. Parkour in this game does exist, and there is a big emphasis on it, but it's not very good. It is not a very fluid parkour system, and a lot of people have called it sticky. Feels like you're sticking onto things instead of having a fluid motion of parkouring. To me, it feels like Basim is a magnet, attracting to certain sections that you need to be at when you're parkouring. And sometimes you attract to something you're not supposed to attract to. Basim, what are you doing? What are you even stuck on? What is that, a banner? Get off the banner! Stealth. It's back in Assassin's Creed. I don't know why it was ever gone in a stealth series, but it's back. And I like it. It's fun. You got different tools and gadgets to stealth your way to where you need to be. And the best part is, when you sneak up on somebody and stab them in the neck, no matter how big the enemy is, they die instantly. So yeah, thumbs up, Ubisoft. Thank you for bringing back stealth in a stealth game. Speaking of returning to the series' roots, Eagle Vision is back. It's good to have it back. But don't worry, RPG Assassin's Creed fans. You still have your pet eagle that you can survey the area with. You just also have Eagle Vision. So really, it's a win-win situation for everyone. Whether you're an old school or new school fan, you have your eagle. Real or vision. And since this game is set before the old school Assassin's Creed games, the biggest takeaway is that in the future, assassins don't need pet eagles. They just need eagle vision. Now let's talk about what I think is the most controversial part of Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that is Assassin's focus ability, or as I like to call it, Blue Basim. I'm not a fan. It's basically a way to stealthily kill multiple people without really doing anything. Oh no, there's 4 guards guarding a door. Whatever shall I do? Oh, wait a minute. I can just Blue Basim my way out. It's all good. I think it would be a cool Animus hack when you beat the game, but not on your first playthrough. And yeah, I know, since I think it's a cheap way to be stealthy in this game, I didn't have to use it. But I did. I had to. I had to beat this game as quickly as possible in order to get the review out as quickly as possible. And it still took about a month. Just think how long it would have taken if I didn't have Blue Basim. This game was made to celebrate 15 years of Assassin's Creed. Even though the 15th anniversary of Assassin's Creed was last year, I think they might have delayed it a year. But that's okay. It happens. When you first boot up the game, there's a video that plays to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Assassin's Creed. And it's a pretty cool video. You get to see gold and black versions of your favorite assassins, as well as your least favorite assassins. It's a nice little video. The only problem is, I cannot skip it. So every time I boot up the game, I have to see this video. Oh good, you can't skip it. Combat. It's here, and it's easy. I remember the devs saying that combat was going to be so difficult that you would have to use stealth in order to survive. Yeah, that was a lie. Combat in this game is kind of a mixture of old school Assassin's Creed and RPG Assassin's Creed. If you parry at the right time, you can instantly kill smaller enemies. But the bigger enemies are a little tougher. You have to get behind them and hit them. And that's not really that difficult to do. Now I understand that the old school Assassin's Creed games are also pretty easy when it comes to combat. But it looked cool. This game doesn't look as cool. There's not as many kill animations as there were in previous Assassin's Creed games. And that's why I wish the combat was a little better. Give me something cool to look at. Baghdad is the place we're at, and it's nice. I think the world looks beautiful. Some would say the map is too small, but I don't think so. Could it be a little bigger? Yes. I don't want it to be too big, but it could be bigger. That's what Roshan said.
I don't want it to be too big, but it could be bigger.
Alright, that was stupid. Anyways, I think the biggest problem is there's not much to do outside of the main story. You do have assassin contracts that you can do. You have Tales of Baghdad, and then there's some other small stuff. But the world does feel empty. People are 100%ing this game in 24 hours. That's not a long time. That's only one season of 24, if you include commercials. And I do, because some of the things you do to complete Mirage is kind of like watching a commercial. Boring and repetitive. So if Ubisoft could just add some side missions, that would be great. One of the things I wanted from Assassin's Creed Mirage is a few tailing and eavesdropping missions. And we did get those missions, but now I wish we didn't. They are very simple missions. To eavesdrop, all you have to do is sit on a bench and listen. Not much to it. Tailing missions aren't much harder either. You follow a person, occasionally they'll turn around, so you just have to make sure they can't see you. They don't go into a restricted area where you have to sneak your way while tailing them. No. They just walk to wherever they're going, occasionally turn around. That's it. Very disappointing. And finally, let's talk about the story, without spoiling it. First off, I want to talk about the length of the story. It's about 15 hours long. And I think that's a great length for the main story. 15 to 20 hours. I don't need a main story that'll take over 50 hours to complete. Now, when it comes to the story itself, I think it's okay. Not bad, not Ezio great. Here's a little synopsis. Basim is a street thief who wants to join the Brotherhood. So he tries to help them get something that they want. And things go horribly wrong. But eventually, Basim gets saved by Roshan, the smoker lady. And so eventually he joins the Hidden Ones. And he has to track and kill all 5 members of the Order in Baghdad, as well as finding out who exactly he is. And we find out who he is, kind of, in the ending. And the ending is very confusing. I had no idea what was happening. And if you didn't play Valhalla or finish it like me, then you'd probably have no idea what's going on at the end of this game. And so, after asking my good friends Alexa and Siri who Basim was in Valhalla, I found out, and spoilers by the way, he is the reincarnation of Loki, and he's still around in the modern day. How does that make sense? I don't know. That's just what Alexa and Siri told me. I remember when Desmond was around. It was a weird story then, but there were no reincarnations of Loki. It was a simpler time. And I guess after years of neglecting the modern day story, they decided to just go all out. They're making up for lost time. I wouldn't be surprised if Ezio came back. I mean, I know he died, and we saw him die. But you never know. No one's ever really gone in Assassin's Creed. So after all is said and done, is Assassin's Creed Mirage really a return to the series' roots? In some ways, yes. And in other ways, no. I've heard 3 different conclusions that you can have with this game. You could be someone who wants Assassin's Creed to go back to its series' roots and love Mirage because you think it did that. Or you could be someone who also wants Assassin's Creed to return to its series' roots, but not like Mirage because you think it didn't do that. Or you could be someone who loves the RPG Assassin's Creed games and hate Mirage because it took away all the RPG elements from the previous games. I feel like I'm kind of the second one, for the most part. I do like that Mirage had more focused on parkour and stealth, and I like that there's more emphasis on the main story. But I just don't think they do all these things very well. And so for my rating, I was really struggling on whether I want to give this game a 6 or 7 out of 10. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Probably a little higher score than most of you were thinking, but my ratings are like IGN. They're just a little inflated. It'll be interesting to see where Assassin's Creed goes from here. I know that Assassin's Creed Red is going to go back to the RPG formula, but what happens after that? Are we going to see an old school Assassin's Creed in the future? I don't know. Only time will tell. Unless you work for Ubisoft, then you might already know. But that's my review of Assassin's Creed Mirage, a game that had a lot of potential, but didn't quite stick the landing as much as I would have hoped for. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'm Running Man Zero, and I'll see you next time.